I woke up thinking it would be another ordinary morning, but the moment Emma called my name from the hallway, something in her voice felt sharp. "Daniel, I need you to pick up Lena from the office," she said, already slipping on her blazer. I stared at her and tried to read her face. "Why me?" "You never ask me to handle work stuff," I said. She didn't even blink. "Just do it. She's running late, and I don't have time." I swallowed my questions, grabbed my keys, and followed her outside. In the car, I kept replaying her tone. It didn't sound rushed. It sounded final. I tried to shake off the thought as I drove toward Militech. When Lena stepped out of the building, she looked like she hadn't slept. She pulled the door open and whispered, "Good morning." Her hands shook as she buckled the seat belt. I frowned. "Lena, what's going on?" She didn't answer. She just kept tapping her phone screen like she was waiting for a message that scared her more than the silence between us. "Did Emma say something to you?" I pressed. "No. I mean, yes." "I can't." She stopped mid-sentence and stared out the window. Her voice trembled. "Please just drive." Her reaction made my chest tighten. "Lena, talk to me. You're acting like something terrible happened." She shook her head quickly. "I can't say anything. Not yet." The way she said "not yet" made my stomach twist. My grip tightened on the steering wheel. "Is Emma in trouble?" The moment I said her name, Lena flinched. "Please, Daniel, just drive to the next location," she sent. "I'm not allowed to explain." "Not allowed?" I repeated. "Since when does Emma tell you to hide things from me?" Lena's lips parted, but no words came out. She looked like she wanted to speak and swallow the words at the same time. I tried again. "Lena, if something's wrong, I deserve to know. She's my wife." This time, she whispered, almost too softly to hear, "I'm sorry." "Sorry? For what?" The word hit me harder than the silence that followed. "Why are you apologizing?" I asked. She didn't answer. She just pressed her phone against her forehead like she was trying not to cry. A deep, heavy worry sat in my chest. "Lena, I need you to be honest with me." She exhaled shakily. "Daniel, please don't make me say it." "I can't." She told me not to speak. The air felt colder after that. I stared at the road, my heart pounding harder with every mile. "Is this about work?" "The merger Emma's been stressed about." Lena wiped her eyes quickly. "It's connected, but not how you think." Her words only confused me more. "Then explain it." "I can't," she whispered again, voice cracking. "If I say anything, I'll be fired." I didn't know whether to be angry at her or afraid of what she wasn't saying. "Lena, you're scaring me." She finally looked at me with the saddest eyes I had ever seen. "I'm scared too." My breath caught. Something was wrong. Something big. The road stretched ahead, but all I could feel was the sinking weight inside me. "Just tell me one thing," I said softly. "Is my life about to change?" She hesitated, then nodded slowly. "Yes," she whispered. "And I'm so sorry you have to find out this way." I felt the words sink deep, colder than anything I expected. I tightened my grip on the wheel and whispered, "Whatever it is, I deserve the truth soon today." When Lena finally spoke, her voice was quiet. "Daniel, please drive to the city registry office." My foot froze on the brake. "The registry office? Why the hell are we going there?" She didn't lift her eyes. "I can't explain. Emma told me not to." I felt my heartbeat jump. "Lena, I'm tired of hearing that. What is she hiding?" She squeezed her chest like she was in pain. "Please, just drive. You'll understand when we get there." Her words made my stomach twist, but I started the car again. Halfway through the drive, I tried one more time. "Is this about work?" "No, about the merger." "No, then why?" "Daniel," she said, voice cracking, "I can't answer your questions. I'm not allowed to talk." I stared at the road, frustration burning inside me. "I deserve the truth." "I know," she whispered, "but it can't come from me." When the registry building came into view, my pulse spiked. "Lena, why here?" She closed her eyes. "You'll see." I parked and turned to her. "I'm not going inside until you tell me what's happening." She shook her head violently. "Please, don't make this harder. Emma said I must bring you directly to the clerk." I felt anger rising. Why didn't she come herself? Because Lena stopped mid-sentence, panic in her eyes. "I can't." Something inside me broke a little, but I pushed the door open and stepped out. Inside, an older man behind the counter looked up. "You must be Daniel Miller," he said calmly. I frowned. "Yeah. Why?" He reached into a drawer and pulled out a file. "Your wife already completed her part. We just need your signature." "My wife?" I took the file with shaky hands. When I opened it, the words hit me like a punch to the lungs. Petition for divorce. My breath stopped. No, this has to be wrong. I turned to Lena. "What is this?" She whispered, "I'm sorry." My voice cracked. Why would she do this? We didn't even talk about divorce. She told me to bring you here. I had no choice. I looked at the papers again, my name printed in bold letters beside Emma's neat signature. My hands went cold. She signed without telling me? Lena nodded weakly. She said it was better to do it fast. My chest tightened painfully. Better for who? For herself, she whispered. I walked toward the counter, gripping the papers so hard they shook. Is this real? The clerk, Mr. Howard, nodded. Everything is valid. She came yesterday. I felt like the room was tilting. She didn't even look me in the eyes, I muttered. Mr. Howard cleared his throat. Sir, you're not required to sign today. But your wife requested the process be quick. Requested. That word cut deeper than everything else. I stepped back, breathing hard. Why now? Why suddenly? Lena looked like she might cry. Daniel, she said she wanted a clean split before the merger announcement. She said dragging it out would ruin her image. I stared at her, disbelief and heartbreak mixing into something sharp. So I'm an embarrassment now? No, she said instantly. You're not. She's just thinking about the company. Not about me, I whispered. Lena reached out as if she wanted to touch my arm but stopped halfway. I'm sorry you're learning it like this. My voice broke. If she wanted to end it, she could have told me herself. Not like this. Not through paperwork. She lowered her head. She didn't want a scene. She said you might slow things down. Slow things down. I felt something inside me snap. I'm her husband, not a burden. Lena's eyes filled with tears. I know. But she doesn't see it. I closed the file slowly, forcing myself to breathe. I'm not signing today. Mr. Howard nodded, not surprised. Take your time, son. I turned toward the exit, the papers still shaking in my hand. The betrayal settled in my bones like ice. Lena followed behind me quietly. I didn't look at her. I couldn't. Not when my whole world had just cracked open. I walked out of the registry office clutching the file like it was burning my hands. I'm not signing this, I said through my teeth. Lena followed behind me, her steps soft. Daniel, please don't be angry at me. I spun toward her. How can I not be? My wife signs divorce papers without telling me, and you walk me in like I'm some delivery package. She winced. I didn't want to. She forced me. I want to hear it, I snapped. Why didn't she come herself? Lena looked around like someone might be listening. Because she said you'd make things messy. Messy? My voice cracked. Our marriage is messy to her? Lena closed her eyes. She's planning the merger with Titan Holdings. She said having a liability husband would put her at risk. The words hit me so hard I felt my knees weaken. Liability? She called me that. Lena nodded hesitantly. She said the board wouldn't take her seriously if her personal life looked unstable. I felt heat rising in my face. So she cuts me out like a stain on her shirt. I'm sorry, she whispered. I laughed, but it sounded broken. I guess I was never her partner, just her prop. We walked toward the car in silence. My mind spun with memories, our wedding day, her promises, her smile when the company first launched. All lies. Or maybe I was just blind. When we reached the parking lot, she spoke again. There's more. I leaned against the car. Go on. At this point, I might as well hear the whole truth. People at the office are talking, she said. They think Emma is close to someone. I didn't breathe. Who? She hesitated. Alex Grant. My heart plummeted. The investor. She nodded. Jason overheard something. He's the one who told me. Jason. He works in finance. He said he saw them having dinner alone twice last week. I felt something sharp twist inside me. And she didn't tell me any of this. She didn't tell anyone, Lena whispered. Footsteps echoed behind us. A man wearing an employee badge approached, adjusting his glasses. Daniel? I recognized him, Jason from Militech. What do you want? I asked. He lifted his hands like he didn't want trouble. I just wanted to say I'm sorry you had to find out like this. I narrowed my eyes. Find out what exactly? Jason sighed. I heard Emma arguing with Alex in the conference room. He said she needed to get rid of loose ends before the deal. Your name came up. My mouth went dry. Loose ends? Jason nodded slowly. I shouldn't even be saying this, but it didn't sound like a normal business talk. They were way too personal. Lena whispered, Jason, don't. I already started, he said. Daniel deserves to know. Emma's been going to late meetings with Alex for months. People noticed. My chest tightened painfully. Are you saying she cheated? I don't know, Jason replied. But whatever it is, it's not just work. I leaned against the car and covered my face with my hands. I gave her everything. I supported every dream she chased. And she still, my voice died before I could finish. Lena touched my arm carefully. Daniel, please don't think you're worthless. She made her choices. Jason added, she's not the woman she used to be. Everyone sees how cold she's become. I lifted my head slowly. What am I supposed to do now? Lena swallowed. You can fight it, or you can walk away. But don't let her decide your worth. Jason adjusted his glasses again. Alex is dangerous. If he's using her, she'll fall hard. But you still have a chance to stand up. I took a deep breath, feeling the hurt settle deep but solid. I'm not signing those papers, I said firmly. Not until I hear her say the truth to my face. Every part of it. Lena nodded sadly. Jason stepped back. Good luck, Daniel. As they walked away, I stared at the divorce file in my hands, the signature that wasn't mine, and the life that was no longer mine either. But I wasn't done. Not yet that I walked into Emma's office, my hands still shaking from the registry. Emma, we need to talk, I said, trying to keep my voice steady. She didn't even look up from her papers. Daniel, this is better for both of us, she said casually, almost bored. I froze. Better? Better for you? After what you did? She sighed, as if I were a child throwing a tantrum. I'm serious. You were holding me back. This merger, everything I've worked for, I can't afford distractions. I looked around and froze completely. On the sofa, lounging like he owned the room, sat Alex Grant. The man who'd been hovering around Emma for months, smiling and calm. My blood boiled. Alex, I said, my voice tight. He gave me a polite nod. Daniel, he said smoothly. No hard feelings, I hope. No, I spat, gripping the edge of her desk. There are plenty of hard feelings. Emma leaned back in her chair. You've always been too sentimental, too weak to understand the real world. Weak? The word burned inside me. Weak? I supported you, Emma. I built a life with you. And this is how you repay me? She smiled faintly. It's not about repayment. I just can't let personal feelings ruin professional decisions. I felt like someone had slammed my chest with a hammer. Professional decisions? I repeated. You mean sleeping with your investor and signing divorce papers behind my back? Emma's face remained cold. I never said that, Daniel. I said I need someone who can keep up with me. You can't. I took a step closer. So all this time, I was a burden? A liability? She shrugged. If you can't see it, I can't help you. I swallowed hard, trying to control the shaking of my hands. My mind raced, spinning with rage and disbelief. I could feel tears threatening to escape, but I refused to let her see me like this. Mark is right, I said suddenly, thinking of my best friend who worked nearby. He warned me. He said something wasn't right. He told me she's been distant, hiding things. I should have listened. Emma's eyes narrowed slightly. Mark? Are you involving him in this? He's the only one who actually cared, I said, voice breaking but loud. Unlike you. Alex leaned forward, smiling faintly. Daniel, maybe it's better if you leave. Emotions aren't useful here. I laughed bitterly. Emotions aren't useful? That's exactly what she thinks about me, isn't it? I turned to Emma. You used me. You betrayed me. And you expect me to just sit here? She looked away, unreadable. Daniel, I'm doing what's necessary. You should try to understand. I couldn't. I couldn't breathe, couldn't stop the hurt clawing at my chest. I backed away slowly. I can't do this, I whispered. I can't watch you destroy what we had, knowing I meant nothing. I walked out before I broke down completely. Every step echoed in the empty hallway like a warning. Outside, I saw Mark waiting. He stepped toward me. Are you okay? I shook my head, gripping the papers I still had from the registry. No. I'm not okay. But I'm done letting her see me break. Mark put a hand on my shoulder. We'll figure this out, Daniel. Together. I nodded, letting him guide me away from the office, away from the woman who had been my world, now reduced to a stranger. I stumbled into Mark's apartment, my hands shaking and the divorce papers crumpled in my grip. Mark, I said, my voice barely a whisper. He looked up from the couch, eyes widening. Daniel? What happened? I sank onto the edge of his sofa, my chest tight. She used me. The words cracked like glass, and I had to look away before he saw how much I was breaking. Mark leaned forward. Used you? Daniel, slow down. Tell me what happened. I swallowed hard, trying to force the anger down so I could speak. Emma, she filed for divorce, without telling me. She had Lena bring me to the registry like I was some delivery. And she signed everything before I even knew. Mark's jaw tightened. I'm sorry, man. I didn't know it was that serious. I rubbed my face. It's worse than serious. She's been meeting Alex Grant behind my back for months. Jason told Lena. He told me. Mark's eyes went wide. Months? Daniel. I don't know what to say. I thought she loved you. I laughed, but it came out bitter and broken. Loved me? Mark, she never did. I thought we were partners. I thought we were equal. But to her, I was just a prop. A shield for her image while she built her empire. Mark put a hand on my shoulder. You're not worthless, Daniel. Don't let her make you think that. I shook my head. I feel numb. Like my heart's been ripped out and they left me lying on the floor. All the nights I stayed up supporting her, all the moments I trusted her completely, gone. Nothing. Mark frowned. She lied to you. But you're stronger than this. You'll get through it. I pressed my palms to my eyes. I don't know if I can, Mark. I don't know if I want to. Mark crouched in front of me. Hey, look at me. Daniel. You are not the problem here. She is. She made her choices. You didn't do this to yourself. I let out a shaky breath. I feel so stupid. How could I not see it? All the little hints, the late nights, the secret meetings. I wanted to believe. You believed in her because you're a good man, Mark said softly. That's not weakness, Daniel. That's who you are. And it doesn't make you a fool. It makes you human. I closed my eyes, letting his words sink in. It's just everything's crashing around me. My marriage, my life, my trust. I don't know how to start over. Mark smiled faintly. You start with yourself. Step by step. You're not alone. I've got your back, always. I nodded, swallowing the lump in my throat. Thanks, Mark. I don't even know what I'd do without you. He shrugged. That's what friends are for. But Daniel, you need to remember one thing. Emma made her choice. You didn't fail. You were loyal, you were honest, and she lost sight of that. I looked down at my hands, still gripping the papers, the reality of her betrayal settling like ice in my chest. I guess I just have to accept it. Somehow. Mark nodded. Yeah. But I promise, you'll rise again. You'll see. And when you do, you'll be stronger than her, stronger than all of this. I took a deep, shuddering breath, feeling the weight of everything pressing down, but somewhere beneath the pain, a spark flickered. Maybe he was right. Maybe I could survive this. The knock on my apartment door made my chest tighten. I opened it to see Lena standing there, her eyes red and swollen. Lena? What are you doing here? I asked, my voice cracking. She took a shaky step inside. Daniel? I'm sorry. I closed the door behind her. Sorry? For what? What is it this time? She sank onto the couch, hugging her knees. Emma, she threatened me. I froze. Threatened? What do you mean? She said if I didn't bring you to the registry, she'd fire me. And she made it very clear it would ruin my life. Her voice trembled, and I could see the guilt eating her up. I ran my hands through my hair. So you were just doing what she said because you were scared. Lena nodded. Yes, but there's more. I didn't want you to know yet, but I can't hide it anymore. I felt a cold weight settle in my stomach. Tell me. Now. Her eyes filled with fresh tears. Emma and Alex, they've been manipulating the company's funds. They're covering something up. And they want you gone before it all blows up. My mind went blank. Gone? Gone how? They don't care about you, Daniel. Not really. You're just in the way. Her voice cracked. I didn't want to hurt you, but I had to tell you before it's too late. I sank onto a chair, gripping the edge of the table. So, she's not just leaving me, she's running from something big, and I'm supposed to just step aside. Lena wiped her tears quickly. I'm scared too. My brother, Tom, he told me, he saw transactions, emails, he's afraid Emma will destroy everything if you interfere. I clenched my fists. Tom? Your brother? Yes, she said quietly. He's been warning me. I thought I could protect you, but I can't anymore. I felt panic rising, a new fear clawing at my chest. So, it's not just betrayal, it's danger. Emma and Alex, they're dangerous. Lena nodded, shivering. Exactly. And they won't stop until they get what they want. They've planned everything, and you're the last obstacle. I leaned back, staring at the ceiling, my head spinning. I thought the worst was the divorce, the betrayal. But this is something else entirely. They're calculating, Lena said softly. And they won't care who gets hurt. You have to be careful, Daniel. Please. I shook my head. I trusted her. I believed in her. And now, she's not just ending us, she's trying to erase me completely. Lena reached for my hand, trembling. You're not alone, Daniel. You have me, and Tom. We'll help you through this. I looked at her, the weight of it all pressing down on me. I can't believe it. Emma. I loved her. And she's capable of this. She is, Lena said softly, tears rolling down her cheeks again. And that's why you have to be careful. You can't fight her blindly. I let out a long, shaky breath. I don't know if I'm ready, but I won't let her take everything from me. Not now, not ever. Lena nodded, gripping my hand tighter. We'll be with you, Daniel. You don't have to face her alone. For the first time since everything started, I felt a spark. Not hope, exactly, but determination. I clenched my fists. Emma thought she could destroy me, but she hadn't met the new me yet. I returned home, exhausted, my head still spinning from Lena's revelations. The front door creaked, and I froze. Inside, I saw Emma, neatly folding my shirts into a suitcase. Emma, I said, my voice tight. What are you doing? She looked up, her expression calm, almost cold. Packing your things, she said simply. I want this done quietly. Quietly? I repeated, my hands clenching. You expect me to just accept this? Emma set the suitcase down and crossed her arms. Daniel, if you sign the papers now, I'll give you a fair amount. Consider it compensation. I felt my blood boil. Compensation? You think money can fix this? You think I'll just sign away everything we had because you throw cash at me? She tilted her head. It's practical. No drama. You'll get something, and I'll get my life back. I laughed, bitter and raw. My life back? Emma, my life, we shared it. You don't get it back because you can pay me off. Her eyes narrowed. Daniel, you're overreacting. It's just business. Personal feelings shouldn't interfere. I stepped closer, voice shaking with fury. Just business? Just business. Is that what I was to you? A tool? A prop to make your life easier? Emma's face hardened. I needed a stable face, someone to appear alongside me while I built my reputation early in my career. You fit the role. Her words hit me like a hammer. A role? I was your husband, your partner. And you never saw me as more than a mask to show the world. She shrugged, cold and unapologetic. I did what I had to do. That's all there is to it. I could feel my chest tightening, the hurt burning through me. You married me knowing all this. Yes, she said sharply. I needed someone reliable, someone who wouldn't get in the way. That was you. I stepped back, staring at her in disbelief. My hands shook, my mind reeling. You lied to me. Every promise, every word, all lies. Emma's lips pressed into a thin line. Daniel, it wasn't personal. I had ambitions, and you were part of them. I laughed bitterly, the sound hollow. Not part of me. Part of what you wanted to show off. Not a partner. Not a husband. Just, convenient. Her eyes flicked to the suitcase. If you leave, I'll make it easier. Take the money and move on. There's no reason to make this painful. I shook my head slowly. No. There's no money that can buy back what you stole from me. No offer can erase this betrayal. She opened her mouth to speak, but I held up my hand. I'm done listening. I'm done being used. I'm leaving. Without another word, I turned and walked out. Every step echoed in my mind, the weight of heartbreak pressing down, but beneath it, something fierce and new stirred. I didn't look back. Not once. Not at her face, not at the suitcase, not at the life I thought I had. All I knew was that the door closing behind me marked the end of what she had claimed, and the start of something I would claim for myself. That I was sitting on the couch, half-empty coffee in hand, when the news flashed across the TV. Militech was in chaos. Alex Grant was on live feed, pointing fingers, his voice cold and deliberate. Emma Miller is responsible for the financial discrepancies, he said. Her decisions led to this crisis. I felt a strange mix of anger and pity, my stomach twisting. I wanted to shout at the screen, but all I could do was stare. So this is what she wanted, a clean empire while someone else takes the fall. The reporter, Ava Brooks, appeared on screen, microphone in hand. Shareholders are demanding answers, and social media is exploding with accusations of fraud against Emma Miller. This could be the biggest scandal in recent corporate history. I rubbed my face. Fraud. Emma, the woman I loved, accused of fraud. Is this karma? Or just the world catching up with her? My phone started buzzing relentlessly. I glanced down, Emma's name flashing across the screen. 1 call, 2 calls, 30, 50, 100. I didn't answer. I didn't want to hear her voice. Not now. Not ever. I muttered under my breath, she wants me back, but why? So I can watch her lie again. Another alert popped up, tweets, posts, comments, people tearing her apart online. Fraud, betrayal, how could she? She used everyone. My chest tightened with both satisfaction and sorrow. I remembered the registry, the divorce, the lies, Alex lurking beside her. My fists clenched. This is her empire crashing, and she has no one to blame but herself. The phone kept ringing. I set it face down, letting the vibrations shake the coffee table. I could almost hear her voice in my head. Daniel, please? I can explain. No. I refused. I stood and walked to the window, watching the city below. Headlines scrolling across news tickers, flashing her name in bold red letters. She built a world to show off, and now it's collapsing. I should feel anger, but I feel relief too. Ava Brooks appeared again, speaking with clipped precision. Investigators are looking into every transaction Emma Miller approved. Alex Grant claims he discovered discrepancies months ago. Shareholders are demanding immediate action. I leaned back against the glass, feeling the distance grow between her world and mine. She thought she could control everything. Money, people, even me, but control doesn't last forever. The phone rang again. My thumb hovered over the screen, but I didn't answer. Every ring was a reminder of her betrayal, a temptation I refused to indulge. I whispered to myself, almost in disbelief, she wanted perfection, but perfection can't hide a rotten heart. Outside, the wind shifted, carrying a sense of change. The woman who once ruled my life, my heart, my marriage, was falling. And I would not be there to catch her. I turned from the window, watching the news continue to cover the scandal, and I felt something strange, a lightness in my chest, a sense of freedom I hadn't realized I was missing. The calls kept coming. I didn't answer. I wouldn't. Emma's perfect world was cracking, and for the first time, I felt untouchable. It was late. The apartment was quiet except for the hum of the heater. Then came a knock, soft, hesitant. My heart jumped, and I froze. I opened the door to see Emma standing there, disheveled, eyes red and puffy. Daniel, she whispered, voice trembling. I didn't move. I just stared at her, every memory of betrayal, lies, and heartbreak flooding back. I need you, she said, taking a step forward. Please, help me. I shook my head slowly. Emma, you don't get to just show up and demand that. Not after everything. Tears ran down her cheeks. I know I hurt you. I never meant to. I didn't know how deep it would go. I clenched my fists. You didn't know? You filed divorce papers, betrayed me, and let Alex manipulate everything. That's more than not knowing. She flinched, biting her lip. Alex, he used me, Daniel. I thought I could control it, but he turned it around. Made it all my fault. He lied to me, and then I let it happen. I felt a tight knot in my chest. The familiar ache of love and trust mixed with the fury of betrayal. Emma, why now? I asked, my voice low. Why come crawling to me after destroying everything? She swallowed, shaking. I need you. Like before, like when we were us. I was lost, and I don't know who else to turn to. My legs felt heavy, my mind torn. The man I was, the one who trusted her blindly, wanted to reach out, to pull her in and forgive. But the man I am becoming, the man who refused to be a tool, a liability, a mask, that man stayed rooted. I don't know if I can, I said finally, voice shaking. You made choices, Emma. Choices that broke me. Do you think I can just forget all of that? She took another step forward, desperation in her eyes. I'm not asking you to forget. I need you to see the truth. Alex, he manipulated me. I didn't know how to fight him. I was scared. And I lost myself. I swallowed, trying to steady my emotions. The memories of the registry, the divorce papers, the lies, the betrayal, they all screamed in my head. I can't be the person I was, I said finally, voice tight. I can't just go back to being yours, Emma. Not after what you did. She nodded slowly, tears slipping down again. I understand. I'll take whatever chance I can get. But I can't face this without you. I looked at her, my heart aching, my mind conflicted. The old love still lingered, but the new strength inside me was stronger. I'll help you survive this, I said, voice trembling, but that doesn't mean I'm yours. Not now. Not ever again. She exhaled shakily, relief and sorrow mixing in her gaze. Daniel, thank you. I closed the door gently behind her, feeling the old pain rise, but this time, it fueled something else. A determination not to be broken again. When I opened the door, Emma rushed inside like she'd been waiting hours. Mark, please, just listen, she said, wiping her face. The reporters won't stop calling me. They're twisting everything. I need you to help me fix it. I closed the door slowly. Help you how? You just have to say the truth, she whispered. Tell them I wasn't involved. Tell them I didn't know anything. I stared at her. But you did know, Emma. No, she snapped, then softened immediately. Okay, maybe I didn't know enough. But you can explain it better than I can. They'll believe you. Why me? I asked. Why not Alex? Because he won't answer my calls, she said, voice shaking. He's throwing me under the bus. And I can't let my career die like this. So your career is the priority. It's not just that. She reached for my hand, and I pulled it back. Mark, you know I'm not a bad person. I know you're desperate, I said quietly. She took a deep breath. Say one thing, just one thing, to clear my name. Please. I'll owe you everything. You already owed me everything, I said. And look how that ended. Her eyes went wide. So you're punishing me? No. I'm remembering. I walked past her, forcing space between us. Every time you needed something, I was there. And every time I needed you, you weren't. That's not fair. It's the truth. She stepped toward me again. Mark, I'm not asking you to take me back. I just need you to protect me from this. If the public thinks I'm guilty, I'm finished. You can stop that. I won't lie, I said. You're not lying, she insisted. You're just choosing a version of the truth that helps me. That's lying, Emma. That's exactly what Alex did. And now you want me to be him. No. She grabbed my arm. I want you to save me. I looked down at her hand. I'm done saving people who never saved me. She froze. You don't mean that. I do. You'd really watch me lose everything, she whispered. I'm watching you now, I said. And all I see is someone who still thinks the world revolves around her. She sank to her knees suddenly, clutching the fabric of my shirt. Please, please, Mark. I'm begging you. For once, the sight didn't break me. It didn't even shake me. I felt calm, almost weightless. You don't have to kneel, I said. I'm not your enemy. Then why won't you help me? Because this isn't helping, I said. This is enabling. You want me to clean a mess you helped make. You want me to lie so you can keep pretending you're perfect. She looked up at me, mascara streaked, breath trembling. I thought you still cared. I do, I said. Just not in a way that lets you use me again. So that's it, she whispered. That's me choosing myself. I stepped back, and her hands slipped from my shirt. For the first time in years, I felt like I wasn't the broken one. I was the one standing. And she was the one who finally saw it. The news was relentless. Alex's schemes had unraveled, and with them, Emma's carefully constructed empire. I watched from my apartment as headlines screamed her name in red letters. Fraud. Manipulation. Betrayal. The phone buzzed endlessly. Emma calling, texting, leaving messages full of desperation and pleading. I didn't answer. Not once. Mark glanced at me over the kitchen counter. You're different, Daniel, he said softly. Stronger. I've never seen you like this. I shrugged, not trusting myself to speak. I'm done being part of someone else's mess. Outside, Lena and her brother Tom exchanged relieved looks when I passed them the newspaper. It's finally over, Lena said, exhaling deeply. We can breathe again. I nodded, feeling the weight of months lift slightly. Yeah, safe for now. Mark shook his head, smiling faintly. You look like a different man. You're calmer. You've stopped letting them control you. I let out a short laugh, bitter but honest. I'm not celebrating. I'm not happy about her suffering. But I won't save her. Not after everything. The phone rang again. Emma's name flashed across the screen. I stared at it, hand hovering over the phone, then set it down. The world could see her fall. I wouldn't intervene. I wouldn't be her safety net anymore. She's paying the price, Mark said quietly. You gave her chances. You tried. You protected her when you could. I closed my eyes. I did. And it didn't matter. She chose the path she's on. I can't change that. Not anymore. Lena touched my shoulder. Thank you, Daniel, for everything. For standing up, for not letting her drag us under too. I nodded, feeling a strange clarity. I just did what I had to do. For once, I didn't let fear or love blind me. Mark raised an eyebrow. Fear or love? That's exactly it, isn't it? You're finally seeing clearly. I looked out the window, watching the city lights flicker. Emma's face in my mind flickered too, her tears, her pleading, the power she thought she had. But it didn't matter anymore. I had my boundaries, my choices, my freedom. I don't feel lighter, I said. Not really. But I feel untouchable. Not in the way she was untouchable before. I feel like me. Mark nodded approvingly. That's what I mean. You're a different man. Stronger. Wiser. I let out a long breath, looking at Lena and Tom. We survived. That's all that matters now. Let the rest of the world handle itself. The phone continued to buzz, but I ignored it. The silence was mine. Quiet, unbroken, and powerful. And for the first time in a long time, I felt in control. The morning sunlight poured through the windows of our new shop. Mark was arranging the shelves with meticulous care, and I couldn't help but smile. You know, it actually looks like we built something real this time, I said, running a hand along the counter. Mark grinned. Finally, something that doesn't depend on someone else's lies or schemes. I laughed softly. Feels good, not having to watch my back all the time. Lena walked in, carrying a box of supplies. Morning, you too, she said, setting it down. The place is looking great. I think customers will love it. You think? I asked, raising an eyebrow. I know, she replied with a confident smile. You've got a good team here. Mark chuckled. Team? I'd say family. I glanced at Lena. She caught my gaze and nodded. There was trust there now, no games, no fear. I'm glad you're part of this, I said quietly. Lena's smile softened. I'm glad too. After everything, it feels normal. Safe. I leaned back, taking a deep breath. Normal. I like that word now. Mark wiped his hands and looked at me seriously. Daniel, you've come a long way. I remember when Emma's shadow loomed over you, and now, look at you. Standing on your own. I swallowed, feeling the truth in his words. I didn't realize how much I depended on her until she was gone. Every choice I made, every fear I had, it was because of her. But now, I can make my own path. Lena nodded. And you've done it without turning bitter or cruel. That's rare. I let out a soft laugh. Not every story needs revenge to end well. Some end with freedom, with quiet strength. Mark smirked. You sound like you're giving a graduation speech. Maybe I am, I said. I graduated, from being someone else's pawn, from living in shadows. I learned my own worth the hard way. Lena leaned against the counter, arms crossed. And now you're living it. That's inspiring. I looked out the window at the street below. People walked by, unaware of the battles we'd fought, the storms we'd survived. And I didn't care. The weight had lifted. Do you ever think about her? Mark asked quietly. I paused. Sometimes. I hope she finds peace someday. I really do. But I am done being her shield. My life, it's mine now. Every step, every choice, every breath. Lena smiled gently. And you'll keep building it. I nodded, feeling a calm determination. Yes. Brick by brick, day by day. No shortcuts, no compromises. Just, living my life on my own terms. The sunlight warmed the room, and for the first time in years, I felt a quiet joy. Not triumphant, not vengeful, but free. This is the life I walk toward.